Okay, so here's some results for you. First, we're starting with the bladder test. So this was something that we constructed on the second day. Initial tests just to figure out materials, shapes, form, pressure required, and this is just simply a larger, there's probably the fifth iteration actually, of the bladder. That was sort of the upper back, albeit sort of the smaller muscle groups in the upper back, and to the side of Elle, which off camera you just caught her leg there, but to the side is Alicia blowing literally through a pipe and filling up the cut out polythene bags and filling them full of air, whilst Elle sort of gently manoeuvres around just to see how it looks underneath cloth. So that's to be worked on some more with some larger applications. Next we've got the spinal application. So this is the pre-made spine appliance, which is literally glued to Elle's back as part of the overall makeup test. You can get much better of the sort of the ridges of the spine there. These are all being played back in high speed, which is generally how we shoot this stuff in case we need to do any sort of VFX stuff at a later date. But at the minute, this is all basically shot in camera, and I've put a very rough grade on the top of it to see how things colour and testing out lighting situations. You'll also notice that we didn't go whole hog with the hair effects, just because that wasn't really what we were setting out to do. Also, that's really time consuming, so with the time that we had, we stuck to the makeup. Next up, the facial makeup tests. So this is the first time we got an actual appliance onto Elle, other than just teeth and bits of hair. So that's made up of a nose piece, cheek piece, eyebrows are obviously done as well, and then she's got her dentures in too, and then a bunch of hair work put in there, and they're blended together as best as, with painting, some paint work, and limited hair work as well. And straight away we can sort of see that right where the flaws are, what doesn't work and what works really well. And this is really the whole point of why we do these tests, because we need to see what works well before we get to the stage of filming the actual scenes. So these kind of sessions really are worth their weight in gold, because if we didn't do this and we got to the day and then suddenly a load of stuff didn't work or didn't work well enough, then that would be full budget blown, which we obviously want to avoid at all costs. And there's little things like with this, we look back at these, Alicia looks back at this, Alicia, our makeup artist, whose hands there in that shot, and she'll be able to look at this and go, right, okay, I can see what isn't working for me, I know roughly what to do. And also then, from Elle's perspective, from a performance, she gets to work out how to, characterize something like this. We said to her, all right, go much more kind of like animal rather than just, the usual kind of screaming transformation, whatever. Go for something more animal and really kind of try and screw your face up, contort it, and that allows us to test just how far she can push her performance with the appliance, how long it'll last, have we used the right type of paint, or do we need to seal it because we're obviously dousing her down with water to make it look like she's sweating. So we've learned a bunch of stuff there, and overall I'd say we've got a good successful test going on there. Bunch of things learned, loads of things learned, and now we know how to do things slightly different next time we do a test. And the next test will be, I would dare say, it's probably going to be a little bit more complete in as far as there'll be more things applied. So, e.g., more applications like body prosthetics, things like that. When we go for a different spine aesthetic and try and maybe build in some shoulder blades, things like that, ribs maybe. Also start concentrating on what we're doing with the hands, with the feet, with the legs, etc., etc. The aim of really all of this, as we know, is to really create that really detailed, really satisfying werewolf transformation, and making sure that at the end of the day, the silhouette, if you will, of the werewolf feels a lot different to Elle's, because she's turning into a 7-foot tall werewolf. So we've got to make sure that whilst it retains certain characteristics such as female, a female form, it still needs to feel very different than Elle's very kind of petite, sporty figure that she's got. And this is and here's a good example of when the teeth hasn't worked, like the glue's come. The glue's not worked, so that helps us work out optimum amounts of beading to use to get the teeth to stay in place. But it's always about pushing the envelope, seeing what you can do with limited time, some more resources each time, and gradually stepping up the process to get to that point where we can shoot a whole scene like this and it be just absolutely badass. So there's a lot of trial and error. Now, incidentally, this whole application, so the head and the back and the hair work, that probably took 6+ hours with a few breaks in between. So far too long from a practical shooting schedule for what it would be effectively be a few shots maximum in an overall transformation scene. Also gives you an appreciation of why it took American Werewolf in London 2 weeks to shoot their transformation, given that it's only 3 minutes long. Now, obviously, this is being played back at the high speed shooting that we did, not the actual speed it would be likely used in. But yeah, it's given us a lot to sort of think about. I'd say it's an overall success, even with the obvious flaws and things that we'd change, but that's all part of the process. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Keep your eyes peeled for more soon. We'll probably drop in some VFX tests with some of these other shots and show you those as we do them.